So I just want to run through some of these with you. So you can do Excel or you can use a calculator if you want. And this one I'm going to say equals because I'm doing calculation 5 to the power of, so shift 6, 3 equals, and I get the 125. So I'll write that one in here, 125. And I could have also done it with the calculator. One of those guys up. I could have done 5, and some of them have a little hat symbol, some have an X to the Y, but you should see the hat come up anyway. 3, enter, and I still get 125, of course. 9 to the half, 9 to the power of, and then I'm going to use brackets here, 1 divided by 2, because that's a nice way to do it. 1 over 2, close the bracket, is equal to 3, okay? And especially later on when you get into thirds, please don't do 1 divided by 3 equals 0.333 and then use a rounded one, still use the whole fraction. So anyway, 9 to the power of a half is the same thing as 3, and we'll learn pretty soon that 9 to the half is the same thing as the square root of 9 to the 1. And what happens is there's the 1 and there's the 2, there's the half, and so we separate them out, just like down here. 216 to the third is going to end up being 216 to the power of 1, which is just 216, and then instead of square root, the little 3 goes in here and it's called the cube root. So we got some different things going on here. So let's find out what this 216 to the third is, for example. So I could do it here, 216 to the power of bracket 1 divided by 3, and whoops, equals 6. Didn't have the equal sign yet. Equals 6. Okay, because I mean 6 times 6 times 6 is 216, I hope. Or I could have done, does it have cube root here? It has cube root, so I could have done the cube root. Oops, I think I have to put the number in first on this one. Every calculator is a little bit different. 216 and then hit cube root, and I get the answer 6. Or I could have used my spreadsheet again. I could have said equals 216 to the power of bracket, bracket 1 divided by 3, close the bracket. I'll still get 6, I better. Or I could have used the cube root function. Actually, there's a power function for that. Doesn't work very well. There's a square. This one doesn't actually work there, but there's a square root, SQRT, which is used so much of something like the square root of 9 is 3, but there's no nice cube root one. Anyway, so 216 to the power of 1/3 is the same thing as a cube root of 216. 27 to the 1/3, so we can do 27 to the, oops, I need the equal sign first because they're doing calculation, equals 27 to the power of bracket 1/3, close the bracket, and it's going to be 3. Okay, so we get the ideas. That's how we can work through all those. I do recommend you get your calculator and you try this. You don't just try and do it, or a spreadsheet. I like the spreadsheet again. I don't recommend you just kind of read this and then go on, because you will have troubles if you do. And that's how to do most of these.